Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm your host as always, $100 KV Exploder. Now, this is a video that I'm just literally throwing myself into right now after watching a video I have only just seen by TotalBiscuit, also known as Total Halibut, here on YouTube. Now, if you don't know who TotalBiscuit is, well, first things first, where have you been? Because he's here, get used to it. But this video was curious to me. The title of the video is, Should You Pre-Order Video Games? So as soon as I read that title, I was like, okay, this seems interesting. I'll watch what TotalBiscuit has to say about, obviously, pre-orders. Because pre-ordering video games is a really big deal. You want to make sure that when you pre-order a game, you get a game that you're generally going to be invested in. You don't want to pre-order a game and then upon release realise that it's just a hunking pile of crap. But, because you pre-ordered, let's say for example, a special edition that was like 60 quid, if you try refunding that, like for example, if you bought it on Xbox, you try refunding that, you've opened the seal, you can't get a refund for it because you've opened that seal. That sucks. If you do it on PS3, you're fine because there's no actual seal on it. But yeah, again, they might just say, oh well, it's out of its packaging, you can't give you a refund there. Sucks. Steam is obviously a very big they play a very big role in this because obviously in Steam you buy a game on Steam, or hell, even pre-order a game on Steam. Once the game's been released, it is on your library, it is on your account, and then from there you can't refund it. Now if you pre-order a game on Steam and you want to cancel your pre-order, like this is bearing in mind, I use Steam. But I don't know everything about Steam. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like the kind of person that will look into everything that Steam does just to find out like little tidbits of information. Because, well, that's not me. Because I'm my own person and I like to talk about my own stuff. But from what I understand, and this is bearing in mind what I've heard from some of my mates who have pre-ordered games off of Steam, so apologies if I am wrong, because this is based off of what I've looked into from my friends. They've pre-ordered games off Steam, and then thought to themselves, I either don't have the money to buy it anymore, or I just don't want it anymore. So they just cancel the pre-order. And it's done. Their money doesn't come out of their account. It's done. They don't lose anything out of it. It's just done. But if you pre-order a game, then it's released, and then you want to refund through Steam, you're probably only going to get refunded once. Because I know, I've been refunded once on a game that I'm not going to bring up. But after you've done it once, Steam are going to be very unlikely to give you a second refund. And don't get me wrong, they will be very unlikely to give you a second refund anyway. Because Steam are like that. But let's get back to the topic at hand here as to why I'm talking about TotalBiscuit's video. I've seen the video in its entirety, all 20 minutes and all, of TotalBiscuit having his say on the subject of should us as consumers pre-order video games. Personally, and this is very personal, because I'm, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to voice for the masses, I'm not trying to voice for any specific group or community or whatever. These are my personal opinions. So do not take this in the wrong way whatsoever. This is how I feel, and I just wanted to get it out there so that people might understand how I feel. Personally, TotalBiscuit is just a teeny weeny bit biased. The fact that he's just bringing up pre-orders based off of Steam is total BS. Complete and utter BS. Okay, you pre-order a game off Steam, it comes out, you find out that the game sucks by either reading reviews after the embargo date, or reading reviews after you have ordered the game, or even playing the game yourself. You realise it sucks, you want to refund it, but you can't because of Steam. Sucks. I know. It's a practice that personally, that's like one of the biggest things I do not like about Steam. But I make sure that if I am pre-ordering a game of Steam, I look into the game profusely before pre-ordering it. And what I mean by that is, I read up anything that I can about the game beforehand. I literally talk to developers themselves, because you can do that nowadays. Twitter exists for a reason. You can ask the developer a question. Obviously, in some cases, developers will not be able to talk about specific areas of the game, because that's under contract and under oath. I completely agree on that, and I can completely understand that. But from time and again, developers will be able to give you guys an idea as to what you can look into for the game, or what you can look forward to for the game. Like, let me have one big example. In TotalBiscuit's video, he goes on to talk about Aliens Colonial Marines, that's only just recently came out. Like, I'm doing this video on the 13th, it came out yesterday. I pre-ordered the game. Just to put it out there, I pre-ordered the game. Did I pre-order it on Steam? No. I did not pre-order it on Steam for one specific reason. I didn't want it on Steam. Straight up. I wanted it on Xbox. Hence why I pre-ordered it on Xbox. Simples. I knew a large group of my friends were going to also be getting the game either as a pre-order or even as a they were going to buy it after it had been released, and then we were going to have some fun times going on the online and multiplayer and stuff, where we'd be doing whatever and just have a good time. This is generally why I pre-ordered it on the Xbox. Now bear in mind, I did pre-order the Collector's Edition. Now with the Collector's Edition, you do get a bit of DLC, and you do get the Power Loader figurine as well. Did I pre-order the game just because I wanted a couple of weapons, a wad of character customization options, and a figurine? No. I pre-ordered the game because I wanted the game. Now, I guess the question is now, okay, so you pre-ordered the game, but what did you know about the game before pre-ordering it? Last year, in about October time, when it was the MCM Expo in London, I went down there with my friends, and I queued up for like a good half an hour to get the chance to play Aliens Colonial Marines, the multiplayer of it, where me and a group of other people will be playing as the Marines, and the developers themselves would be playing as the aliens. And then any time during this, or before it or after it, you can go up to the devs, you can ask them questions about the game, and they will generally answer it as long as it is not within breach of contract. That was brilliant for me. So I go in there, I play the game against the developers, this was when it was Marines versus Aliens, loved it, because I loved how it felt, I loved how it played, I loved how we had this cooperation going between, like, I was playing with completely random people. No other of my mates that came with me that day wanted to wait half an hour to play the game. I was willing to do so to try it out. And I was playing with completely random people, and we all got along really well, we all cooperated with one another, we did our best to fight off the devs. Of course we lost, because the devs know the game inside and out. But it was really, really fun. I enjoyed it, and I can see why a pre-order would be viable. After I played it, I asked the devs a couple of questions. First off, let me rephrase that, sorry. What I've seen today, will it be in the final game? They said yes. So of course, I was enticed more to pre-order the game, because they said to my face to face, that yes, what I have seen in the multiplayer will be in the game. So of course, that enticed me. Now, as well as that, I also asked them a couple of other questions about the campaign and how it's constructed and the narrative behind it all. And after they had answered my questions on it, I was really impressed. It made me want to pre-order the game. So of course, I went out of my way, I waited until I saw that Game, which is the major game retailer in the UK, were doing a pre-order exclusive featuring the Aliens Colonial Marines Collector's Edition, where you get a huge amount of DLC and the figurine. I thought to myself, I want to get the game, regardless of whether I'm getting a collector's edition or not, but I'm a sucker for figurines, I'll admit that, so I pre-ordered the collector's edition. Did I care about the in-game content? No. Do I even care about it now that I've got the game? Of course I don't. DLC, like pre-order DLC, I couldn't give a crap about. I pre-order a game because I know I want to play it, and I want to guarantee that I get that game as soon as possible, so that I can play it. Whether it be by myself and do the single player campaign, or whether it be I get it at the same time as my friends, so that we can all play together and have a fun time. Simple as. Now back to the whole topic of how I think TotalBiscuit is biased towards, obviously, a majority of the consumers here. It's because he's mostly talking about Steam pre-orders. Now don't get me wrong, TotalBiscuit is the kind of guy that, well, at least I would think he's the kind of guy that would take into consideration console gaming. Because, don't get me wrong, PC gaming is huge. I love PC gaming. PC gaming I embrace. And I freaking love it. But console gaming exists too. How can you completely disregard the pre-order market for console gaming? The pre-order market for console gaming is sometimes even harder. But, at least, when you pre-order a game on console, if you pre-order it, wait until the embargo breaks, read a review, or 10 reviews, or 15 reviews, or how many reviews that you do read about the game upon the embargo being released, and then realise that, oh no, the game doesn't live up to what I thought the expectations were. As long as you don't do anything with the packaging, take it back to the retailer and say, I want my money back, here's the receipt. They'll do it for you. They'll check that none of the seals are broken, but as long as you've looked after it, they'll give you money. They'll give you the money back, and they'll retail it off for someone else, probably at a cheaper price, because that's how it works. Obviously on Steam you can't do this, because in Steam it's all digital and it's all account based. Once it's on your account you can't, it can't move. But console gaming is there. You can't disregard console gamers. You really can't. Because, in my personal opinion, Steam, no offense to them, love Steam to bits. Steam, half of the time, do the worst pre-order content I have seen. A good example of this is Aliens Colonial Marines, that TotalBiscuit brought up. You get a gun. Big whoop. You get a gun. Or Tomb Raider. You get Guardian of Light, which came out years ago, which you can get for sale for like £3 every couple of weeks, or every big major event that happens. And there's also other games out there that do the exact same thing. But, again, that's Steam. That is PC-related, downloadable, pre-order games. If you're talking about the bigger picture, where it comes to pre-ordering games for every single platform, there are options. If you pre-order a game for PS3, Xbox or Wii, at least you have a choice to... At least it gives you time to wait. You can read reviews before you even plug in the thing. And then you can do your prejudgments there and then. If it doesn't live up to your expectations, you can just trade it in. Simple as. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the whole... like, this is a better option, and I'm not telling everyone that, oh, you shouldn't pre-order off Steam, but console, you're fine. Because it's still a bad practice, don't get me wrong. They entice you to want to get committed on a game, and as soon as you put the money down on the table, that means, I want it. If you take that money off the table, or if you try to take that money off the table, the guys would just be like, oh no, why? No, you have to give me a valid reason. no, 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 you can't just have your money back. No, 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 there are many different things you need to cover before I could give you your money back. That's what pisses me off. And that happens whether it be digital or whether it be retail. It happens. My problem is that TotalBiscuit, although all of what he has voiced about pre-ordering video games, I agree on for the most part, and I can really relate to him. I know the people out there do pre-order games or buy games based off of reviews or like first impression articles or whatnot. But in the end of the day, you buy a game because you like it. You buy a game because you want it. Like for me, I pre-ordered Aliens Colonial Marines because I generally... Now don't get me wrong, I didn't just jump in without looking into the game and go, pre-order. I played the game beforehand, I talked to developers beforehand, I looked at everything the game had to offer that was available beforehand. And then I pre-ordered the game. Do I feel like I have been shot down? Do I feel as if my pre-order of a collector's edition was completely not worth it? No. Because I personally like the game. I'm not going to go all fanboy about it because I'm not a fanboy on it. I like the Alien series, don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to go all fanboy about it because I'm not a general fanboy with the Alien series. I like the game. That's all. I play it with my friends. We like it because we get to play with each other and do what we want to do. That's all. My issue is TotalBiscuit is mainly bringing up the pre-orders of digital content via Steam, not putting into consideration pre-ordering content for that of retail console markets, whether it be PS3, whether it be Xbox, whether it be Wii U, heck, even when it comes to a future when it might turn into PS4, Xbox 720 territory. It will happen. Now, some of you guys might just be listening to this thinking, oh, you just hate TotalBiscuit. I don't hate TotalBiscuit. Don't get me wrong. I respect TotalBiscuit, as in, I might not necessarily agree to everything TotalBiscuit has to say, because I'm not a glorified fanboy of TotalBiscuit. I stick to my own opinions. I stick to my own way of thinking. But, time and again, I watch all of TotalBiscuit's videos because I generally like looking at what people think about the games industry and about particular games that have come out. And I respect him. His opinions are really well done, really well voiced, and really well opinionated. Which I like. Which is what this video is. This video is all opinionated. All opinionated. So there you go. In my personal opinion, I think TotalBiscuit is being biased towards the digital market and is completely disregarding console market in its entirety. Do I think TotalBiscuit should redo his video and look into the console market of pre-ordering as well? No. Because I don't want to force him to make another video or to prove himself. I just want to get my voice out there saying that I don't think everything he says should have merit. I know there are going to be TotalBiscuit fanboys out there that are going to watch this video and immediately thumb it down and say, oh my god, you just fucking hate TotalBiscuit, when I don't. I respect the guy. I respect what he does. I just keep to the fact that I am my own individual person with my own individual opinions and my own individual ways of doing things. Of course, I pre-order games based off of what I have found out about the game before its release. So that when it does release, whether I play it or whether I read reviews of it, I generally see if I'm getting value for the product that I have pre-ordered in the first place. I generally pre-order stuff physically, so that I can physically get my hands on it, so that I can trade it back in. PC is a different area because nowadays you try pre-ordering something for PC, even if it isn't a retailer, and you can't get your money back because, oh, we don't accept PC games. That sucks. So this is where PC is drastically hindered when, at least in console, you have the slight option. It's still hard, don't get me wrong, but at least you have an option. But with that said, I hope I got my point across there. I doubt TotalBiscuit will watch this, but I'm not forcing him to. But these are just my opinions on what I thought of his video, and yeah, that's about it. Whether you guys relate or not, your opinion, because this is my opinion. But until next time, guys, this is Thomas900 aka the Experter, signing off. See you guys later.